Geography 411 Introduction to Geographic Information Science Lesson 3, Lecture 2 Digital Data Learning Outcomes. At the end of this lecture, you should understand how spatial data are stored locally on your machine or distributed via Internet. You should know some main sources of spatial data for the US and also knows about where to look for spatial data which are needed for your own GIS project. Spatial data are increasingly collected in digital formats like GPS, laser measurements, and satellite scanners. They all provide primary data in digital forms, and they are directly transferable to all the digital device and GIS system. And because these data are often distributed at low or no cost, these existing digital data are often the easiest, quickest, and least expensive source for matched spatial data. And digital data are developed by governments because they help provide the basic public service, for example, safety, health, transportation, water, energy, etc. And those data may also be quite valuable for use outside of the government. So they often been made available for use by different private sector. Digital data can be stored locally on local computer, and with such locally stored data, you able to transfer them or manipulate them in a local computer. On the other hand, a web map service serves geographic data over the internet, and GIS software accesses data via an internet connection and displaying this data on the local machine, although they are served from some remote computing system. And image data are most often served, but vector data may also be provided. And the data don't reside on the local hard drive. They are delivered in response to each pan, zoom, or other change in the display. National governments commonly develop, organize, and distribute national datasets, and those datasets are often made available to the public from a central source via the internet. On the other hand, global datasets are also available, but are less common than the national datasets. It is because few governments collect spatial data in the same way or with the same set of attributes. Hence, there is substantial work in reconciling differences across national boundaries. Note that the US is the main leader in developing many key global datasets. Recently, there are notable efforts to develop global datasets through international volunteer collaboration, and the OpenStreetMap is a very good example of this kind of global effort. Digital data for the US. In the year of 2003, President George W. Bush issued an executive order, a call for the establishment of the National Spatial Data Infrastructure to promote the sharing of geospatial data throughout all levels of the government, the private and non-profit sectors, as well as the academic community. And the goal of this infrastructure is to reduce the duplications of effort among agencies, to improve the quality and reduce costs related to geographic information, and to make geographic data more accessible to the public and to increase the benefits of using available data, as well as to establish key partnerships with states, counties, cities, tribal nations, academia, and the private sector to increase data availability. More information about the National Spatial Data Infrastructure can be found at the website provided on this slide. Data.gov. Data.gov is the home of the US government's open data. And under the term of the Federal Open Data Policy, all newly generated government data is required to be made available in open and machine-readable format while continuing to ensure privacy and security. And you can search data.gov from each catalog of government data from across different federal agencies. And once in the catalog, uh, you can search in different ways to find the data you need. For example, you can enter keywords in the search box, or you can browse on the left side through types, tags, formats, groups, organization types, categories, etc. And by clicking on multiple items, you can narrow your search, or you can click on the X to the side of any single item to remove it from the search, or clear all to remove all selected items in a category. Or you also can search by geospatial area by drawing a boundary box on the map at the left side and click Apply to find all datasets that are tagged for that geographic area. The national map. The national map is the home of topographic data, and it is a collaborative effort among the USGS and other federal, state, and local agencies to improve and deliver topographic information for the whole nation. And the national map is easily accessible for display on the web as products and services, as well as downloadable data. And the geographic information available from the national map includes ortho imagery or aerial photographs, elevation, geographic names, hydrography, boundaries, transportation, structures, and land cover. Other times, geographic information can be added within the viewer or brought in with the national map data into a geographic information system to create a specific types of maps or map views. Digital elevation models, DEM. The USGS digital elevation models data files are digital representations of cartographic information in a raster format. DMs consist of a sample array of elevations for a number of ground positions at regularly spaced intervals. And these digital DEM as part of the National Mapping Program and are available at different resolution. Hydrologic data, NHD Plus or National Hydrologic Data Plus. It is a geospatial hydrologic framework dataset built by the EPA and the USGS. NDC Plus is an integrated suite of application-ready geospatial datasets that incorporate many of the best features of the National Hydrography Dataset, the National Elevation Dataset, and the Watershed Boundary Dataset. The NDC Plus version 1 was released in 2006, and the version 2 began its public debut in June 2012. And both the version 1 and version 2 of the NHD Plus dataset incorporate the NHD 1 per 100,000 scale stream network and the 1 arc-second NED, or approximately 30 meter ground resolution. Water data. Water data in the U.S. can be found at the USGS Water Data for the Nation website. And these pages provide access to water resources data collected at nearly 1.5 million sites around the U.S. The online access to this data is organized around the categories of surface water, groundwater, water quality, and water use. National Land Cover Database (NLCD). In addition to the national map, The NLCD can be found at the Multi-Resolution Land Characteristics Consortium, which is the group of federal agencies who coordinate and generate consistent and relevant land cover information at the national scale for a wide variety of environmental, land management, and modeling applications. The NLCD result from a decadal Landsat satellite imagery and other supplementary datasets. And the primary objective of the MRLC NLCD is to provide the nation with a nationally complete, current, consistent, and public domain information on the nation's land cover. Digital census data. The Census Bureau's Tiger products. Tiger stands for Topological Integrated Geographic Encoding and Referencing. The Tiger products are specially extracted from the Census Bureau map and Tiger database. They contain features such as roads, railroads, rivers, and other legal and statistical geographic areas. The Census Bureau offers several file types and an online mapping application. They include the Tiger Light shape files, the Tiger Light geodatabase, the Tiger Light with selected demographic and economic data. Also, the cartographic boundary shape files, the KML cartographic boundary files, and the Tiger Web. Environmental and natural resources data at the Natural Resources Conservation Service. The Geospatial Data Gateway from the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service provides access to a map library of over 100 high-resolution vector and raster layers in the Geospatial Data Warehouse. This is the one-stop source for environmental and natural resources data at any time, from anywhere, and to anyone. It allows you to choose your area of interest, browse and search data, customize the format, then download or have it shipped on media. Soil data. Also from the Natural Resources Conservation Service, the Web Soil Survey (WSS) provides soil data and information produced by the National Cooperative Soil Survey. It is operated by the USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service and provides access to the largest natural resource information system in the world. The NRCS has soil maps and data available online for more than 95% of the nation's counties and anticipates having 100% in the near future. The site is updated and maintained online as the single authoritative source of soil survey information. Climate data. Climate data can be found at the National Centers for Environmental Information (NCEI). NCEI is responsible for hosting and providing access to one of the most significant archives on Earth with comprehensive oceanic, atmospheric, and geophysical data. It includes data from the depths of the ocean to the surface of the sun and from million years old sediment records to near real-time satellite images. And NCI is one of the leading authorities for environmental information in the US. Wetland data, the National Wetlands Inventory. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service National Wetland Inventory includes the Wetlands Mapper, which integrates digital map data with other resource information to produce a timely and relevant management of wetland. Also, several decision support tools. Data of wetland can also be downloaded by HUC 8 watershed boundaries or by state. Reflections. Now you have learned several main sources of spatial data in the US. Please go to those sites and look for the data which needed for your project. And if you cannot find the data you need from those sources, please talk to the instructor.